Want to go out now live to the scene where Maria Cade is standing by. She's been out there for the last 40 minutes or so. Maria, I understand you talked to some people who are at the airport this morning.
Dave, we did, yes. Hello. And I just want to let you know, too, this is a live breaking news scene. So, we're sort of rolling with the punches here. Just to give you a little bit of a sense of how it was when we arrived here on scene. Behind me, where normally you can see all the buses line up to get over to the different parking lots. If you park here at Eppley, it was filled with police cars. There are still a couple remnants, as you can see. It looks like there are about 3 police cruisers there right now. But when we pulled up, that whole row was lined with police cars. But we want to take you inside Eppley right now and show you a little bit of the scene. It is pretty packed right now because just a little bit ago, less than an hour ago, this airport was evacuated. And we actually just got some new information from Steve McCoy from the Omaha Aviation Authority, and he gave us some new details. So let's head inside, and I want to tell you a little bit about who I spoke with when we got here at Eppley. Okay, so there are multiple passengers here who had their flights delayed or canceled, and one couple, they told us that they were here waiting in line to get rebooked onto their flight headed to Miami when I think we got some technical difficulties here. They were getting ready to be rebooked on their flight to Miami. Let's head out and go around this way. It looks like that door's locked here. They were headed to Miami, and they heard a call over the loudspeaker saying that the airport was being evacuated. That was when they headed outside, and they said that they headed onto buses. So they had those buses ready to go to take people into the parking lots safely away from the airport and take them away. And they said that they were on those buses evacuated for about 15 minutes. Then the buses were brought back here, and they were told it was safe to come and enter back into Eppley again. So let's take a look inside here. And as you can see, I'm going to have our photographer head in here and take a look inside Eppley Airfield right now. There are plenty of people here still waiting to get onto their flights right now. So this is the line for Allegiant. It stretches all the way back, and there are people who are waiting just sort of get everything handled and everything figured out. So again, we did get some new information in just within the last couple of minutes, Dave, from Steve McCoy. So let me read this to you. This is the new information that we are just getting right now. So he says that approximately 8:20 this morning, there was a security threat that was communicated to the Omaha Airport Authority. And then out of an abundance of caution, the pre-security areas of the terminal were temporarily evacuated. So that's where we are right now, pre-security areas. That was around 8:20 this morning. Eppley Police, they worked with Omaha Police, TSA, and the FBI to work on that issue. And at approximately 9:25, the normal passenger operations started back up here at Eppley. So it looks like it was a little bit over an hour when they got that initial threat in, and then they were able to start and resume those operations normal again. Let's see if there's any other new information in here. It looks like that's it from Steve. But we also have First Alert 6's Sydney Babb. She is here as well, talking with passengers who are working to sort of get those flights rebooked if they were canceled. So we're going to head over here and talk to her and learn a little bit more about who she spoke with and some of the people here as well. Looks like she's actually talking to a passenger right now, Dave. We can see if we can get some information from Sydney. Hi, Sydney.
Hey, Maria.
Okay, so tell us, we are live right now.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about who you spoke with and what their experience was during that evacuation.
Right. One of the first couples that we spoke with when we first came in, they said that they were evacuated and they were immediately put in a bus. The airport knew that it was really cold outside, so they were hoping to keep people warm. They put them in a bus, basically drove them around until they knew that it was clear for people to come back in. Another couple that we spoke with who had to get back in line, they were first in line to get checked in for their flight, and then immediately someone came up to them. He said she was really polite. She came up to them and was like, hey, we need you to leave the airport. We have a security threat. And same thing. They were taken to a bus, driven around outside, just kept warm. That was about it.
Yeah, and I think the main thing that the groups of people who we spoke with, they continued to reiterate was that it was just mainly confusion. They didn't know what was going on at the time, but the way that it was handled, they said it was handled very calmly, and everybody was very cool, calm, and collective, and they were able to get out, be safe, warm on those buses for a little bit before they could get back in and head back in. We just got that new information from Steve McCoy again, that it was evacuated around 8:20 in the morning, and then they brought everybody back in for normal operations around 9:25, so a little bit over an hour. Anything else, Sydney, that you heard from passengers?
That confusion, that was the one thing that, like Maria said, they kept mentioning. They said that even the bus drivers were confused. Like the bus drivers didn't know exactly what was happening. They were just told, just drive these people around, keep them warm, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
And that initial information that we got from Steve, too, mentioned that it was the pre-terminal area that was evacuated. So right here where we are standing, this was the part of the airport that was evacuated, not post-security. So that would have been people who are waiting to, put their bags on the bag check and get their boarding passes. Maybe people who are just waiting to get on that flight. If they would have arrived maybe a little bit close to that boarding time, potentially they could have missed it. So there are a lot of people who are waiting here to get rebooked onto new flights and make sure that they're able to get their destination safely.
That's why you're seeing a lot of the longer lines right now. I mean, I'm sure you can see these people behind us. It was all the way down to baggage claim before you guys came in here, and they're trying to get some of these flights rearranged and rescheduled for people. I know it's been a bit of confusion up here, but I'm sure it's going to get all worked out throughout the day.
Yeah, and luckily there are a lot of employees, airport employees, who are working very hard, very diligently to make sure that everybody's able to get to their destination safely and securely. And again, there were a lot of law enforcement here. We saw Omaha police officers with weapons here as well, just making sure that everything was taken care of, everybody was safe. But right now, it looks like the majority of them have actually left the pre-terminal or pre-security area where we are right now. They were originally standing here where we are, but it looks like they've since exited and left the building.
Yes, yeah. I think that's the main point that they want us to get across, is that while there is a lot of confusion and a lot of crowds right now that are not typically here, they're trying to get all that worked out. I know that they've separated separate lines for different people based on what flights they're in, so that they can try and get those things moved as quickly as possible. A couple of the people that we talked with said that when they first heard about that they needed to be evacuated, they were less scared and more just frustrated. So I think a lot of that is kind of lingering now, but it seems like they're definitely starting to get it worked out, because this line is much shorter than it was, even 5 minutes ago.
It's always tough. I experienced some airport problems myself just a couple of weeks ago, so I totally get it. But again, we have our airport staff who are working to get everybody through. I think that's all we have for you right now, Dave, unless there's any questions, any lingering questions you have for us.
I think we're good, Maria. That's Maria Cade and Sydney Babb reporting live from inside Eppley Airfield at this hour. Ladies, thank you very much for your live reporting. Good job out there. Breaking this midday, a terminal evacuated at Eppley Airfield. It happened around 8:30 this morning.
Yeah, the airport has been since given the all clear, but as you can imagine, it caused a lot of confusion for passengers. Our Maria Cade joins us now from Eppley with the very latest.
Good morning, Dave and Cerise. Right now, we are in the pre-security section of Eppley Airfield, and there are a lot of people over here to my right who are waiting to get rebooked onto flights. Many of them who had their flights delayed or they missed their flights because of an evacuation notice. So we just got some information in from Steve McCoy from the Omaha Airport Authority. I want to take some time to tell you about that so that we can learn a little bit more about what happened. So let me step out of the way as you take a look over here at this long line of people here at the pre-security section. Around 8:20 a.m., Omaha Airport Authority was told that there was a threat here at Eppley Airfield, and then out of an abundance of caution, the pre-security areas, which is where we are right now, those areas were temporarily evacuated. So again, just to reiterate, only the pre-security areas were evacuated. Around 9:25, so it was a little bit over an hour that people were evacuated. They got that original threat in. They were evacuated, taken out of Eppley, then brought back here around 9:25, and that's about when we came in. When we got here, there were lines of police cars outside where normally the buses for the shuttles to take you to the parking lots are. So that was lined with police cars, and then when we came in, a lot of the passengers were really just frustrated because a lot of them had missed their flights. Now they had to work to get those rebooked. But we spoke with one couple who said that they were on their way to Miami and they were ready to go, but then they were told to head out, get on those buses, and they held them on those buses for about 15 minutes so they could stay a little bit warm. Then they brought them back here into Eppley, and then of course they had to wait wait in this very long line here to get their flights rebooked. So that's the latest that we know right now. We're still working to confirm and learn what that threat exactly was, but what we can tell you right now is there was a threat here at Eppley Airfield. People were evacuated, and now they're brought back in. All operations are back to normal. Dave and Cerise, back